morning.
Mike, what is kind of like trade deadline week within a locker room, just in terms of you seeing deals go around? Maybe guys are just wondering what happens. How do you manage that?
It's something you try to ignore it, but it's hard to, as a player. When you see guys around the league getting traded, we're all, available to be traded at any point. So you just try to focus on what you're doing on the court, focus on the games that you have in front of you. At the end of the day, you don't have control over what happens. If they want to trade you or move you, they will. So as pros, we have to come in and do our job and try to block it out.
Is that feeling of like, anyone can be traded even more prevalent now? I mean, if Luka gets traded from Dallas, like, who could not be, I guess?
Right. I think we all text the group. I said, man, put your ringers on loud just in case, just be ready for whatever, because when you see something like that, it was such a surprise to everybody. I think that two of the most untouchable guys I think out there, and AD and Luka. So for all of us, it just puts us all on alert and just try to get through it.
You guys play the Kings and Bulls coming up. Obviously, you're both involved in the trade. How difficult is it to play after your team makes a trade, or if you're the player being moved? How difficult is that?
It's an adjustment. I think teams accept it differently. I think some teams have been wanting a trade and needed something fresh, and when a trade does happen, it kind of rejuvenates them, and it can be done by addition or even by subtraction. You can kind of you lose a guy, but it seems like it's not a good thing. But for the guys that are currently on the roster, they play better and more efficient together, and they become a much better team. So you don't know exactly who you're going to get when you play against those teams, and so you just got to be prepared for whatever they throw at you.
How advantageous is being home all week? Nikhil said you can't put a price on it. I mean, being in your own bed and all that, and just the grind of the season. You guys haven't had like a real extended stretch of being home.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think we've been looking forward to this stretch. Like you said, we've been bouncing in and out of from being home and away, and being able to just get a routine again and being somewhere comfortable, being in front of the home crowd, being in front of our families. All that's just comfortable for all of us. I think it'll kind of rejuvenate guys a little bit.
Is it that time of the year where guys need a rejuvenation?
I think so. I think, end of January, early February, it's like, dog days. It's cold. It's, everything's hard. Everything is, guys are injured. Everybody's banged up across the league. So it's a time where guys got to kind of toughen it out, and get through it. And the best teams do that.
Like Finch was saying the other day that like he feels this team just in general sort of has its feet underneath it a little bit more and knows what can be repeatable and what you can do on a nightly basis. I mean, Saturday aside with all the injuries, but do you feel a little more stability just in what you guys have over the last month or so built here?
Yeah, I think we've kind of set the table of what we expect from ourselves going forward, and we've seen ourselves do it now for a month or so. We've played a good brand of basketball. We've had some losses here and there, but for the most part, we've done a really good job of being consistent in the areas we need to be consistent in, and our identity on defense, our identity offensively, how the kind of pace we want to play with, how we want to move the ball, and we know our strengths and weaknesses. We know we don't want to turn it over. We want to box out. We want to get back on defense. All those things, and as long as we work on those and continually work on them, I think we'll continue to trend in the right direction.
Like just with tonight's opponent, 11 close games with the Kings, just like the last couple of seasons, really going back to 2014. What is it like? I know personnel kind of different on their ends in this one, but what is it like to be on the court and play this team?
Yeah, there's never a safe lead when you're playing against the Kings. Either way, like we know if we're up 10, 15, it could be a 2-point game within minutes, and that's what's happened with us. With them, whether we're winning or losing, it somehow ends up being a 2-3 possession game, last minute of the game. So we can't relax or rest or take plays off. They continue to play fast. They continue to be aggressive, and they're being coached well in the way that they're motivated right now. So we just got to be prepared for everything they give us.
Back to Luka, like if I had told you after he hit the game winner over Rudy in the Western Conference Finals 9 months ago, to fast forward 9 months and he'd be now a Laker, not a Mav, like what the heck would you have told me?
No, you're crazy, man. I told my wife she was crazy when she told me that Luka got traded, I was like, you're lying. Like, there's no way that happened. I honestly looked the other way and went back to playing a video game. And then 5 minutes later, I got another text from somebody else. It's like, oh, she was telling the truth. So I went back and I was like, I had to talk to her about it. Like, man, this is crazy. Like, I would have never expected that. And she was the first one to tell me. And she's not like a big basketball fan or anything. So that's just it's crazy I'm talking about it, honestly. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah.